Let's go ahead and begin in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 4 Pixels. Cuckoo is here with Rosh and Saku, and we are continuing Ace Attorney investigations.
Hello.
Hello. I had chocolate. I'm very happy now. Edgeworth had his sugar fix. Pulling chocolate bars out of the ruffles in his cravat like...
I am pumped and ready to go. Like at the corner of his mouth.
According to this, your father was right-handed.
Then...
The person pointing a gun at you from atop the stage was not Mr. Deacon.
Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. I think you need to take a pressure course. The Bad Badger has a model gun attached to his... which is why the only hand he could have held the field is his left. Isn't it possible that it went down like that?
Agent Lang, were you paying attention to what Miss Porps was saying?
Who's Miss Pops?
Ah, puppy. And again, I suppose I can't expect someone who has never set foot in court to catch it.
Wow.
I set foot in court. The basketball court. I got all the slam dunks.
Oh my god, I love him. I love him more now.
Enough with the smugness. Out with it already.
Miss Porps told us earlier.
There was a Bad Badger pulling the suitcase with the 1 million in it.
According to you, the Bad Badger had the gun in his left hand. Which would mean that he was pulling the suitcase with his right hand. Is that correct, Miss Porps?
Yes, exactly. And I'm sure it was the Bad Badger. It had those huge sunglasses on its face.
Well, if that's the case, even I can see there's a huge...
Your microphone cut out just after you said that. Just after you said huge, and it was like, there's a huge something!
Coco, please, and any word that you want there.
Will do.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to wait for months to be able to hear what the word will be.
Probably won't do it. It's just like it'll just like a little you know, the Always Sunny thing will come up that just says, "Oh my gosh, I'm not doing what you say."
Yes, Miss Porps claims to have seen the Bad Badger. And yet the Bad Badger had both of his hands full. In the other guy's fanfiction. These two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong.
Both are correct.
There were two Bad Badgers knocking about. They are both correct.
Impossible. That just leaves us with an irresolvable contradiction.
Somebody please pat him on the head. Miss Porp's entire statement rests on the fact that she saw his sunglasses and... Oh, does the Bad Badger have a beard? That's cool.
Yes, it does. I just love the description of the Bad Badger. It's like a foul villain with a gun!
But what if the Bad Badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half?
Oh.
Sorry. What? Where's your logic going? Edgeworth, is this anything to do with the case? Or are you just thinking on your own?
Just thinking of Phoenix.
But what if, though? What if he wasn't wearing pants? This is like, I've got an idea for your story. This proves that there was...
Lads is just like writing that down.
Ooh, what if he wasn't wearing pants? This proves there was a way for this to happen. The costumes have two parts to them, a head and a body.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah, sort of. The head Miss Fawkes saw was probably really the head of the bad bat. However, is it not possible that the body was that of an entirely different badger? It would have been the rad badger, or the sad badger.
God, sorry, I need to take a moment. I fucking love his coat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if that was a glamour option in Final Fantasy XV, I would fucking buy it.
Oh yeah, Ignis would look great in that.
A different badger.
Yes, or to put it more bluntly, I believe it was the lower half of this badger. The body of the bad badger and Miss Porksaw really belonged to this badger.
I don't recall. Sorry, is it the blue badger? Because I think we've got the proto badger like on lockdown. Like,
I think so.
His head may have been the bad badger, but his body was the blue badger.
the blue badger? Hold on. Let's see. Who was it that had one of these on?
I did.
And so did Officer Meekins, pal. Ha ha ha! Nice try, but your logic is just a tad illogical. One costume. Officer Meekins has been placed under arrest after all.
Wait. I'd like to strike what I just said from the record. Give my explanation anew.
Oh, it's gotta be pretty.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to make mistakes. Pretty Hot says I should try everything.
I genuinely forgot there was more than one cop. What? The heck is it? Ugh. It's the Pedo Badger.
Square is in an unfortunate place. That's why you don't know what it is. Yes, and it's a simple matter of process of elimination. Miss Pops was wearing the blue badger costume, so we can eliminate that one. And the pink badger is of the wrong colour, which would have been incredibly obvious. All that's left is the proto badger costume. Miss Porps, who was the one who wore the proto badger costume?
That would be Lance.
Are you saying what I think you are? That Lance Amano donned the Bad Badger's head and pretended to be Mr. Deacon? On top of which, he plotted to shoot Miss Pops while wearing that hideous thing?
The stage that was set up in the stadium was nothing more than a setup. And its purpose was to lead Miss Pops into believing she had committed murder. Standing there in front of Miss Pops and pretending to be the victim. It was all done so that she would pull the trigger.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Why exactly would I have had to do all that, huh?
There is but one reason, Lance Amano. You are the real culprit behind the murder of Mr. Oliver D.
What?
No!
That's slander! Take it back! You take it back right now! I'm actually getting a bit close to my red-white voice, I should tone it back.
Nah, it's been a while since we saw him. Just out of curiosity, Lance, which is your dominant hand?
I'm left-handed. But what does that have to do with anything?
Dude, you could have so lied about that. depends. According to Miss Pulps, her attacker held a gun in his left hand, so, you know. What are you...
Ha! Who is one-handed doesn't prove a thing. And besides, now you're just being absurd. It's not like the proto-badger is bulletproof. One misfire, and he would have found himself dead, right?
Of course. Logically, if he had been shot, he probably wouldn't be here with... But I believe he had thought of that as well, and prepared accordingly. And this should be all the evidence you need.
You need that badger gun, boy. Oh,
This is
sorry,
how
the
Lance made
engine
sure
cut off.
he wouldn't be hit by bullets. Hit by a bullet! We found one half of a bad badger costume in the hideout, a broken... It was not the same one that the victim was wearing, plus it... And that something is the Bad Badger model gun, which can fire blank.
What?
Sorry, neighbors.
Miss Pulps, where is the gun you use now?
I threw it away into the sea.
Makes it a bit to verify what it was. Although I believe we can safely assume it was the model gun in question.
I've heard enough. All you've been spouting so far is pure conjecture.
I taught you that word.
Yeah, and I'm using it. Aren't you proud of me?
I'm very proud of you. Very good boy. I admit that as long as the model gun is... Yes, you are. You're a very good boy. Now shush. Now sit.
Sits down.
He's like... Yeah, and Gumshoe does as well, even though he wasn't talking to him.
Oh, you as well.
I admit that as long as the model gun is lost to us, I can't prove I'm right. However, I can say that the probability that I'm right is very high, as I always am.
Okay, let's pretend that you're right, and the murder was a stadium, and it was a fabrication.
Sorry, I messed that line up.
In that case, where do you think the murder really took place, Mr. Prosecutor?
I don't know yet.
Yeah, I knew you were full of it.
However, I do believe the murder took place during an earlier time frame.
Please wait a second. It's simply not possible. Because I saw Mr. Deacon after he was restrained by Lance.
She saw the victim in a state of being restrained.
I came back to the hideout long after the other two. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. He had tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door. After that, the two of us put on our costumes and made our escape.
Do I have to add a third pair of handcuffs to my tally?
Oh,
Sorry, the screen kind of stuttered. I couldn't get the line there.
So, Mr. Deacon must have escaped right after the...
we thought that it'd attract too much attention if we left together, so I left first. We planned to meet up again at the stage in the stadium. But then, as I was walking through the park, I got a call from Lance on my cell phone.
All of them managed to escape. It looked like he was waiting until I was alone. He also stole the gun from me at that time.
And then, the murder happened. Mr. Deacon must have overheard their plan day. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, Mrs. Pop saw the victim, which means that the victim was still alive at that time. You agree?
Why does that sound wrong to me? There must be something amiss about this account. Let's see what happens when I examine it in more detail.
I came back to the hideout long after the other two.
When exactly did you arrive back at the hideout?
It was after we had picked up the ransom money.
I read that as pickle up, and I was really confused. Like, what were you doing to it? We gotta pickle up that ransom money. Something we kidnappers. And where were you up until the time you returned?
I was scouting the park out and making preparations for our escape. I walked around in the various areas looking for the best route.
Ah, so each of them had their own roles to play.
No, Coco?
Hello?
I lost you there. Are
Oh.
you still on?
Oh, can you hear me now?
Uh-huh.
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry,
Oh.
it must have been my computer.
Okay.
No, I didn't hear her either.
Well, hopefully it'll not do that.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon.
How did Lance look at that time?
He looked shocked. He also looked a little down. When I saw that sadness in his eyes,
Thank you, that's enough for now. What of Mr. Deacon? What was his situation like?
I'm sorry, Sako, you sounded so just like Dawn when you said that. Never mind, that was enough. Like, just the level of like dismissal there was perfect.
Yep. Yep.
Thank you.
Best actor in a leading role.
He had tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door.
You are sure it was Mr. Deacon that you saw?
Yes, I'm certain of what I saw.
Did you go into the other room to check?
Lance said that it was for the best if I didn't get too close to him. Lance, he's such a kind soul.
Then are you telling me you did not confirm that it was Mr. Deacon for yourself?
I checked through the slit in the door that separates the two rooms. He had a badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure. That just had to be Mr. Deacon.
She saw a bad badger head.
The captive had a bad badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure it was Mr. Deacon.
So the tied up Mr. Deacon was still in his bad badger's costume.
Yes. And?
It would appear that she misread the whole situation. What now? Should I raise an objection? Yes! The person you saw was not the victim.
What? Why not?
I will tell you why not. With this! I love when he says that, but we don't know what it is.
Got it all right.
This, Miss Phillips, shows us the person you saw was not the victim. One of these things.
It's gotta be that, right?
Yeah, because it was left behind. Miss Pops, the person you saw was not Mr. Deacon at all.
Huh?
The person you actually saw was this person.
Me!
It was me, baby.
I love
It
that
was
you
me.
had to. You just had to. That was it.
Yep, me. It's all about me. It's my game. Miles Edgeworth Investigations.
Huh? The person I saw was you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, because I was kidnapped.
I always thought it was a bit odd. Why would the kidnappers abduct me, even if after I handed over the... Edworth's just like having some sort of episode right now.
Why would they abduct me?
It's not as though I saw the face of the kidnappers. If I were them, I would have just taken the $1 million and ran. But in the end, there was a point to it all. It was to make me look like Mr. And if that was the reason for which I was abducted, then I believe we can assume the victim was already dead at the time. Well, Lance, am I right?
That's...
You showed Miss Pops a person, namely me, with a bad badger's head on. Oh my god, it was Edgeworth. I totally didn't think it was. I was like, is he gonna say, no, you idiots, I'm kidding at any point during this? I was like, nope, he actually is. I completely forgot.
The game just had to make you choose it, you know? Like at one point, the ridiculous answer was the obvious one. Rather the correct one.
Yeah. I thought that any minute now he's gonna say, no, I'm joking, you fools. Like one of those things where you lead people down a really, really long thing and then tell them no for being stupid. And then made your costumed escape together, or so you pretended.
What do you mean he pretended?
Exactly that. I believe Lance watched you escape, and then doubled back to the hideout. Probably to come and remove the bad badger's head from my unconscious self. And to create his fake prison with the prop sword. He then escaped via the passageway.
It looks like he's cowering behind him.
That's because he knows what you did, Lance. His unconscious body.
Hold your tongue, boy.
Uh-huh. Yeah?
Saku, that's the dumbest shit. I love you.
Yeah.
Don't get caught off in that tidal wave words coming out of Mr. Prosecutor's mouth.
I don't leave.
We've heard a lot come out of you, but I've yet to see a shred of it. The victim's betrayal and his subsequent attainment. All of that could have happened while you were out cold.
That's right. You were out for quite a while, Mr. Prosecutor.
Even if that were the case, Miss Pops would still have seen me tied to the beam.
I was scared of Mr. Deacon, so I didn't go into the next room. So I really have no idea if you were in there or not, Mr. Edgeworth.
You see, it would seem that you can't. Who said that?
Please, wait.
Best voice.
Mr. Amano.
Oh, Miles, my boy. It looks like you're really giving it your all. And Lance, It's not good to cause trouble for others. Dad? Forgot I was lads for a second. Let's see. You are the one in charge of the investigation, correct? Oh god, it's just me.
The Rush Show!
Yeah, that's
Oh, that's a great tagline.
I'm sorry that my son has been nothing but trouble. These probably won't make up for anything, but I have some evidence for you. Oh? Do you now?
Whoa! Hey! Oh, wait, come back, dude.
That guy looked like a Dachi.
Thanks, Adachi. Is
Shut
that what I think it is? I love his beard.
It's the Bad Badger costume the victim was wearing. And the gun! 2 guns!
Oh my god, he's double bad!
I couldn't wait around for the police, so I went and found these elves. It appears that they were disposed of in the sea.
Ah, is there no one in this country actually obeys the law?
No?
No.
Nope.
There now. Agent Jack, please calm down.
I love that he has money in his belt. It's like, are you on your way to the dragon's den or something?
I am the dragon.
Exactly. They've got no room in their bank accounts. They have to carry all their money around with them.
Hmm? What the heck is that scrap of paper?
No, someone else be her now.
This appears to be a letter from the Chief of Police. Please allow Mr. Amano complete freedom to do as he sees fit, it says.
What?
The chief of police? What the? Just who does he think he is?
The person who wields the highest authority in this area.
Oh yeah, right, thanks babe.
Of course.
There now. There is no need to be so upset.
I'm not a cop from left. So I'm not bound by the laws of your country.
Yes, you are.
Now. This wasn't meant to strong-arm you into anything. It's just a request. I am only asking that you please respect the laws of the land.
Ugh, I can't really say no to that. However, returning to the topic at hand. It doesn't matter who found the evidence. Its value remains unchanged. Alright now, let's take a look at this new...
I've already got the results back. I had a special forensic research lab that I'm on good terms with to conduct the test. They verified that the blood on this costume belonged to Oliver. As for the gun, the only fingerprints they could find were yours. What? That's it.
What? I was so shocked that my voice went up 10 octaves. Actually, that's actually what I really sound like. I have to really concentrate to get my voice like that.
You disappoint me, Mayan. I can't believe that you would cause my son such stress and heartache. Thank goodness I was able to find the pieces of evidence. With this, you would have no reason left to push my poor boy around.
That's it. He's making pieces of evidence. Huh, I'll be the judge of that.
And with that, we will end this episode right here. Thank you guys for joining us, and see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Farewell.